All right. Welcome, YouTube, to Devil's Advocate live stream. Okay. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the channel. I hope you guys like it. If you guys like it, I hope you guys subscribe. I hope you will check out my main channel. The link is in the description down below. That's where I'll put this, video later on. I also have many other videos that kind of, if you like the things I say, or just the topics I cover, or just how I think about things, please check out that channel. It has a bunch of videos from that. Okay, so welcome. This is Devil's Advocate, and my bro right here, my co-host for the podcast, Average Joe. If you don't know this channel or my content, is that one thing I always love to, or I want to promote, is that I want to push men to be the best version of themselves. Because I always feel like a lot of men nowadays are so directionless, and they're guideless. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to improve their life, right? To be the best version of themselves, right? I don't promote anyone to be like the supposed high value man, be a CEO, a man that makes six figures or anything, right? But I do promote men to be the absolute best version of yourself, right? So working at McDonald's, going home to your parents, doing nothing with your life, right? And then do that 5-10 years. That's not you being the best version of yourself. And I'm not even saying working at McDonald's is not making you the best version of yourself. I'm saying that you don't have a direction in life, right? You're not trying to improve in any way. Okay, this is not like I'm telling people to, like, oh, you work at McDonald's, next you should be a CEO of some company. No, but I'm saying, you know what? Even if you work at McDonald's, you can save, invest, really be focused, laser focused, and trying your best to improve your life. So something I want to do, right, is to, again, I hope I'm doing this channel, this videos, just because I like it, and I want to just give back to, I think, the struggles of men, talk about it, give back to men, because I know the struggles that men go through. So one of the things that I love to promote is stocks, right? Investing. Two biggest ways for anyone to improve in their life is owning properties. But something that a lot of people don't do is have investments. I like owning stocks. And I can tell you this, right? I'm like, the average income for most men is about 50K, right? And I've said this before, any man that makes over 50K, like 60, 70, whatever, you're above average. That's amazing, right? For me, I make like 40. So I'm literally nothing special. But remember, I make about 40. But here's this thing where just making 40, you may think that, oh, it's going to go nowhere. You're going to live paycheck to paycheck, which, you know what? Essentially, I kind of do. But I've made steps to improve my life, to, again, be the best version of myself. So here's something I want to give some proof, right, where the pudding is, right? So this is my stock portfolio. Okay, I have two portfolios. Well, technically three, but two main ones. But all my portfolios add up to about 100K. 100K. And I make 40. Okay, so you gotta think, wow, you make 40, but my net worth if let's say this, right? My net worth, if I cash out this, I could wipe out all debts I have. And if I wipe out all debts I have, I'll probably be about 90K in net worth. 90K net worth. Right? I choose not to, like, I don't need to wipe out all my debts because it's another thing, right? But my net worth is about 100K. And not many people can say that about themselves. But I can tell you this, right? This is me being disciplined. I don't really go out. But it's not like I never go out. I've done it, right? But I don't go out as much. I don't go crazy buying things for myself, but obviously you could see that I'm a geek. So I buy plenty of shit for myself. But there are ways for men to be disciplined, to push themselves. This is the thing, right? Money is not the end all to be all, but you'll be an idiot to think that money doesn't matter. Money should be number 2, right? In importance. Because without money, you ain't going nowhere. So this is a thing where I really want to promote, like, put my money where my mouth is, right? I can't reiterate it. I make about 40K. I'm below average. Okay. And yet here is what I've been doing. Okay. This is, if I want to liquidate everything, literally liquidate every investment I have, boom, I will have this in the bank. I mean, and like, look, these are things you can check out. I'm invested in a bunch of these. Some, they're not like going crazy, but you know what? I invest. I'm not trading. I'm not a trader, right? So I don't I'm not gambling, but I'm doing this for the long term.
So when you say you invest, so you're buying stocks and you're holding on to them. Is that what you mean?
Correct.
Okay. So the idea is that they're gonna grow in value. So you're picking companies that will grow in value or hold their value.
That's right. I can tell you this, right? Here's the thing, right? This one right here. My biggest amount. Palantir is a technology company, right? I don't know. You probably never heard of it, but I was down this company, okay, during the whole COVID, even before COVID, right?
Okay.
I was down this thing. I was negative. Okay. So now I'm in the positive. So right now you can see this is the market. This is pretty much the whole value of it.
Yeah.
17K. I put about 7,000, and I made 10. So I more than doubled my investment. There's literally nothing that you could double your investment. Okay, there's not many things, right? Even buying a house, you ain't gonna double it, right? It's rare. I mean, unless you bought that house like amazingly dirt cheap, you ain't gonna easily double your money. Okay, and if I put in a small amount, right? This is not me putting in a huge amount. And again, I'm holding this because I believe this 17K will turn into 30, 40, 50, 50K on a about $7,000 investment.
Wow.
Okay? I believe that. So this is a thing where it is where the proof in the pudding, right? And again, I talk about relationship things or women, but I mean, again, women is not the everything for men. It shouldn't be, right? Because women should be just the byproduct of you being the best version of yourself. Because you need to find happiness within yourself. Okay. I love stocks. Like it's like fun to invest for me. Okay. Fun to hear about these stocks. Fun to see these stocks, right? Go from negative to amazingly positive. Okay. Facebook. Okay. Facebook. I bought it. I bought it when it was like 400. Okay.
Okay.
And it went down to $88.
Mm.
400 to 88. I was scared, but you know what? I just kept buying. I kept putting money in. Now I doubled my money, more than doubled my money in Facebook.
Wow.
You know, Mark Zuckerberg
Mm-hmm.
has paid me off. He's done. I love the man. This guy's made me money. Okay, that's the thing, and this is the thing where I'm saying, right? It's a part of being the best version of yourself. Building your finances, this right here is going to be my generational wealth. This is what I'm going to live off of and pass on to my kids. Hopefully, they can pass on to their grandkids, their kids, and so on and so on. What are your thoughts? What do you think?
How long have you been doing that?
I've been doing this for about maybe close to 5 years.
Okay.
I mean, maybe that seemed like the long game, right? Maybe that seems like a long
100
time.
grand in savings of 5 years is fantastic. I don't know.
Save it, then that's not. But I mean, this is not fast money, right?
No, I got you. Yeah.
I'm not dealing, right? I'm not,
Mm-hmm.
on the streets dealing something and making 100 grand.
Right. It's
But
not instant.
again,
I got you.
this is. I just want to I want to reiterate that I'm not telling people what to invest in. I'm telling people you need to invest. That's just it, right? It don't matter, and I'm not talking about trading. Okay, I'm not talking about trading. I'm talking about buying some stuff continuously, allocating money from your paycheck into investments. Right? It don't matter what. Even if you want to buy a house, it don't matter. But we as men need to have some proof to ourselves. Okay, back in the day, what did men do? Right? They were, the burly, the strong type. They pillage and destroyed and conquer. Well, we don't have that stuff, right? So money is our tool of conquering, and if we don't have it, you're not going to conquer shit.
Okay. That's pretty good, man.
And you know what? Look at this, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just talking to you guys. I'm talking to my friend here too, right?
No.
I'm constantly trying to get this on this guy's case. Just tell me, you don't have to say amount or anything, but just tell them what you recently went through your mind. Just recently, we just talked about this, right?
I mean, it's tax season, so I did my taxes, and I looked at my income from last year, and I was shocked that I made as much as I made, and more shocked that I didn't have anything left to show for it.
This boy makes above average income, right? Above average. He makes more than me. Right? We don't need to say how much, but I'm telling you, I make below average, but he makes above, and that's his outcome. Keep talking.
But I am not in the same financial situation as you are, because I spent it. and on a lot of things I needed to spend it on, but then I hadn't thought about it very much, but on a lot of things I did need to spend it on. And if I had been putting up money or maybe investing, I was shocked. I was like, I couldn't believe it. I kept looking at my W-2s. I was like, I couldn't have made that much last year. I couldn't have. I just kept saying that to myself. And I was like, where did it go? And yeah, we like to, complain about, and stuff is expensive. It is expensive to live. It's not easy to take care of yourself, but I need to save my money because I could have a lot more in my pocket.
But this is the thing, right?
Yeah.
You were just talking about it, right? Like you're saying things are expensive, right? But I'm not saying you. This is kind of coincide with like I hear a lot of talks, right, about like people say that they make $100,000. That's not enough. They're barely making by. I say that's idiotic. I say that's idiotic because then you are honestly living beyond your means.
Yeah.
And I think that they're doing what you're doing, right? Where they don't know where the money's going. That's the problem, right? I think that's the problem that a lot of people, they one have no financial education, or two, they ignore trying to get financial education, which I think you follow into number two. Because no lie,
well, you're gonna make me put my money up, and then I won't be able to spend it on stuff I want. Like I want to buy the shiny thing, and then go to the place and hang out with my friends and drink beer. And
that's the thing, right?
Put it up.
I get it. I definitely get it. What is this money going to do, right?
Yeah,
this money laying there, but it's like, here's the thing, right? And I'm saying I fall for it too, right? I'm 40, okay? I'm old. Problem is that we messed up in our youth. We seriously messed up in our youth.
Yeah.
Because what we have now, we should have had 10, maybe even 15 years ago. That's the problem, right? I should have had this amount of money back then. So then now I can be lazy or
you can do whatever. Yeah.
Do shit. But this is the thing, right? If you don't ever start, it's never going to happen. So it's to be honest, right? The best version, I say this, right? The best version of yourself, only you can decide. Okay? If you find that, and again, I don't know about you, but if you find that, okay, you're living in an apartment, you don't know where your money's going, there's no savings, no. But hell, you're having fun with your friends, and if that's your view of being the best version of yourself, then it is what it is. But for me, right? And I'm working towards it. Best version of myself is that I don't have to worry about any single bill in my life. Where I had an acquaintance, right? Where literally he said he'd never seen a bill in his life because every single bill is automated. So they take it straight from his account. And I can tell you this, I can't do that. Because then my account will go zeros.
Right.
I've seen negatives, right? Negatives in my account. So if I had things automated, and I don't have things automated because of that. I need a bill in front of my face and check how much I have in my bank account. Okay, and then maybe I gotta wait a bit.
Yeah,
right now, right? See, I live that kind of life. I've been living that kind of life for a long time, and that's like I don't want to live. I don't want to continue living that life. So that for me is that I know that's not the best version of myself. That's not the version that I want to be, right? And that's the thing where, again, my best version is not like me being in Lamborghinis or all that shit. It's like I'm not that. I mean, like great if I could,
right.
But I'm not. That's not really my goal. Again, my goal is to get to a point where I have enough money where I could put every single bill on an auto.
And not worry about it.
I don't need to look at a single bill until the rest of my days.
It's comfortable.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is the thing where I want to promote more men to figure out what's the best version of themselves. What is their goal? What is the direction that they want to head to? What do you think of yours?
That's a good question.
And I told you this. You gotta make it. You gotta make that decision, man.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to be, like you said, comfortable. We don't have to worry about bills. I don't know if that necessarily means everything on autopilot or whatever, but like it does mean. How do I say? I want to do what I want with my time. That's what I want. Yeah, that's the most valuable thing to me. So if not, I don't mind my job. I like my job. But if I could spend that same time I give to the company that pays me, if I could spend that time doing what I wanted, that'd be great. That's what I think like financial freedom is worth. That would be the happiest version of me. All right. So like I want to be a and if I could write for a living, then I'm doing what I want and getting paid for it. You know what I mean? I'm spending my time the way I want to spend it for me. Um that's that's the best version of me, I think.
I made it like this. I love making videos. I love making these content. So I changed my perspective where I want to be. My bills are on auto, and I can
Mhm.
make videos and talk to friends whenever I feel like it, whenever I want,
Yeah.
anytime. You know,
Hmm.
so that's definitely a goal I'm having, and that's where I want to head to.
Okay.
Um, any last thoughts on this part?
Um, I mean, like you said about our recent conversations, it was eye opening.
Yeah, yeah.
I know I'm taking a good look at my habits.
Have you thought about more about it?
I've thought a lot about it, especially these last few days. Um, and this year, I mean, it's early in the year. This has to be the year where I start getting on track. So that's my goal. So that by the end of this year, I want to look back and have and be like, whether it's a little bit or a lot, be like, hey, this is what I have, instead of where did it go?
Yes. Here's the thing, right? Now,
Mhm.
again, I don't know if you guys are. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna happen, but again, I offered this bro, you know, a room. So if that comes to fruition, we might have some, some uh setting changes. So that we'll see how that goes. Because again, I believe every man needs to take up any opportunity they can to improve their life. Right? Opportunities are like let's say this right with stocks, investing, anything. Right? I have you. We have YouTube. Right? At our in our palms, in the in our hands. We can look things up. I literally spent weeks, looking up information on stocks. Right? So this is the thing where we need to take up any opportunities we can to strive to be the best version of ourselves, strive to have a good, clear direction. And I think that's a problem with a lot of, like, let's say, a lot of men, they're just directionless, like I said before, that they don't know what to do in life. And I think that's a dangerous thing for men, right? I think men with no focus, it will lead them to a very, very dangerous route, right? A lot of times, maybe violent towards others, sometimes even maybe violence towards yourself.
Mm.
And that's the thing where I want to, because here's the thing, right? You recently, and not you yourself, but a friend of yours recently went through those hardships. And it's like,
Yeah.
but this is the thing, right? Men have the highest self deletion rate. And I think that, and you know what? Black men have one of the highest. And I think this is the thing. And I honestly think a lot of black men have no direction, right? They have no guidance, especially. And that's the problem where I'm seeing um, this in a lot of men. And this is why I want to make this content, right? Have men talk, have men, um, understand each other, like all of us understand how, what is it like to, try to be with women, try to get with women, trying to talk to women, date women, all that shit. We all understand that. We also understand, not knowing what to do in life, you know, having no guidance. And this is the thing where I'm hoping I can help a little bit, you know. You got any thoughts on that?
No, no. All good things you said, and like you said, bettering yourself in a lot of different areas is definitely worth talking about, um, especially financially. Um, and then we can talk about physically and emotionally and all that. Um, but taking the first steps to get started. If you don't start, it'll never happen. So
How's your friend doing?
good now. Good now.
Right.
He's well. He's back on track. He's got work and um some things he's striving towards financially. Uh so he's doing a lot better.
You should definitely tell him to check out our pod.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm happy for him.
Good, good,
And,
good.
we're still in touch and talking. So
Okay, cool, cool. You know what? This is like, again, this is a little bit maybe an offshoot, but I want to do this often, right? I probably will talk about my stock portfolio because I love stocks, right? Why I don't talk about it a lot is because I'm not knowledgeable in this. I don't know these like stocks like inside and out, right? There are smarter people talking about stocks than me, right? All I want to talk about is that you should invest. That's it. That's my goal, right? I'm not telling you what to invest in, but I'm telling you to invest. That's the thing. There's so many more smarter people than me out there when it comes to stocks and investing. That's why I don't talk about it. But for maybe motivation purposes, I do like to. I would. This is why it's a little bit different than our other episodes. But I want to show it because, again, this is part of my process of self improvement. You know, so in the future we could talk about your own stuff. You know what you're. Hopefully you're gonna make some changes, right? That's part of the goal, right? So you can make some changes towards your own self improvement. Okay, but this is the thing, right? For men, having careers, having success is important. It is important for ones that the the social and maybe biological shackles that are on men to be the providers, right? To have accomplishments, to have money. That's just what men have to have, right? To be anything in this world, in this society, men have to have it. They have to have the money. That's just plain and simple. But here's on the flip side, right? This is going to lead into the video that I want to show because on the flip side, women don't have to. Women. Here's the thing where I think there's a quote. I'm not good at remembering these quotes or whatever. But when men make money, they make money for not just themselves, but for the partner that they want to have, and for the family that they want to build. When women make money, it's only for themselves and to not need a man. That's the thing. So that's why men don't care about women's money. Men don't care about women's accomplishments. A little while back, I don't know if we. Tell me if we talked about this, right?
mm-hmm.
You know the whole Simone Biles. There was a controversy, right, with
I
her.
don't think we talked very much about. Did we mention it?
Did we? I don't know.
Maybe, but I don't think we
Well,
talked much about it.
so
What was it?
it was like at least a month or so ago, where Simone Biles, right, her husband was on I guess a podcast
Yeah.
interview. We're saying that he felt he was a prize.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't really know who Simone Biles was, but she went after him. They're married, and all this stuff. And then the internet went. Well, black women, went ballistic.
Some women
Say, how can you not know who this woman is? This gold medalist woman. She is more accomplished, more famous than you. She makes more money than you. She's better than you. How could you say the things you said and all this stuff? And at the end of the day, please check it out, right? Please check out my video on that. I said that, controversially, that the outrage of it pretty much showed how black women are probably the biggest hater of black men. Okay, we could talk about that if you want, but it also shows that I said this, and plenty of other people said it. It don't matter a woman's accomplishments. It don't matter about her career. It don't even matter how much money she makes, because at the end of the day, men don't benefit from it. Men don't benefit from women's accomplishments, their careers, their money, because women are not providing for men financially. So it don't matter. She could be working at McDonald's for any man to care. So it don't matter. She could work at McDonald's. She could be a CEO of a company. She'll still be, however attractive she is in a man's eyes. Her career, her accomplishments don't make her more attractive. It won't necessarily be a negative in some senses, but it won't add to your attractiveness. You have any words before we'll show the clip?
No, let's go right to the clip.
Okay. Let's check it out.
Amongst Black women and beyond. I think the main thing I've learned from this, y'all, is people really want Black women to be happy with anything. What people really want Black women to understand is that we are to be accepting of our positioning as the least desirable in society. We should get the memo that nobody really wants a Black woman. Thus, if anybody was to find themselves willing to take up with us, we should be happy, we should be grateful, and we should shut up about it. And if you are a Black woman that dares to push back on that mythology, because that's what it is, it's a damn lie from the pits of hell. Right. And if you were to push back on that and insist upon a value system, insist upon a criteria, insist upon just a standard into which we want to operate romantically, we are demonized. Yes. We are, we are seen as ungrateful, and eventually we become the ungrateful, angry Black woman. And I personally won't have it.
Every single time.
Yeah.
And you know what was really disgusting to me? You got a lot of backlash. And then I believe it was Tyler Perry who came on the flip side and basically said that we need to start looking at men that don't make as much, or the stay-at-home dads, and considering them.
I think his exact thing was, if he can contribute to, the light bill, then
the light bill,
but he makes you happy in all other areas, then and he met you at your worth. I thought he'd actually said he met you at your worst. I was like, wait, what are we even saying? What is the story that we're being force fed? It's gross.
And they were applauding him.
I was just like, this is, first of all, Tyler Perry makes movies where the bus driver looks like Boris Kojo. And in that case, bring him on. Every single woman would be like, girl, I'm dating a bus driver. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? So yes, that's a factor. And it's like, I kind of feel like it was a gotcha moment with you.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, why throw bus driver at you?
Here's the thing about what Tyler suggested, right? The subtext is going back to what we just talked about. Your worth is minimal. So if you are willing to accept minimal contribution to your household, a la a light bill, that is equivalent to your value in society. That's the subtext there that no one's saying out loud.
But but the other subtext in there is the assumption that Black women's only option is to date Black men. The conversation really never gets examined as to the other options that Black women have. And listen, I understand wanting to be race loyal. I understand wanting to, if you're a Black woman, you want to marry a Black man, you want to have Black children. I totally get it. But the reality of the situation is that I feel like, and I'm sorry if I'm offending anybody, I feel like Black men don't really want to have the conversation that Black women actually do have more options that are available to them than are ever.
Okay, so we're gonna do it. There's a bunch of chapters or section. We'll probably do our thoughts on every so often.
Okay.
So far, what do you think? What are your thoughts?
So I agree with a lot of what she said.
Really?
So
God, I'm not surprised.
I didn't say everything. I agree with a lot of it. I agree that a woman should have standards, right? That she should be allowed to pursue what she wants, right? Absolutely. She shouldn't be judged or demonized for it. That's I agree with that. Of course. Of course.
I agree.
We talk about how women want providers, right? So I can't provide for any of those women.
No, I'm not. Yeah,
Right. Because they got money. So
yeah.
so if they, I guess if they want someone to provide for them, that's got to be someone in a higher tax bracket. I don't think we should insist. I get it. Like to you and me, money's may not be isn't the most important thing. It's not what I'm looking for from a woman. I'm not looking for her money. I agree with that. So I like to believe that my other qualities far outweigh how much money I make. And that is going to get me the woman I want. But in the real world, because like you like to say, we talk about there's what you believe in, and there's reality. In reality, money matters. And if part of these women, part of their criteria is this man needs to be able to make a certain amount of money, provide to a certain extent for me. Okay, right. And sometimes it sucks to hear because it's like, well, I can't do that.
But see,
but
you see, that's the thing. That's the point, right? That's the point. What you just said. It sucks to hear.
Yeah.
Because this is the thing, right? They talked about a little bit about the Tyler Perry thing, and they don't even understand the nuance of it. It went over their head. Right? Here's a man saying that, okay, yes, no one's perfect. No man's perfect. But if he can provide, if he's helping in, chipping in, say, i.e. a light bill, but he's happy everywhere, right? Cooks, helps cooking, helps cleaning, helps with the children, maybe he takes care of the children most of the time. He makes you happy, right? Takes you on dates or, talks about your feelings or be there for you. Okay? Wow. And you just said it too, right? There's more than just money, right? But yet, these women saying, oh, just take care of light bill. It's like, you make it, he said other things, but they're focused on taking care of a light bill. And this is the thing, right? This is the problem. These women, like I said, this is the problem with a lot of these women, right? And I'm pretty sure these women make over six figures, right? I know, especially the one that was talking the most, the one that's in the second seat. She's a lawyer. She's, we talked about her in the past. I don't know if you remember it. The bus driver thing, right? Okay. That's her.
Okay.
She definitely makes well over six figures. But you don't understand, right? The men that makes over six figures, why would they? And that's the thing, right? When they say, oh, he's just paying for a light bill, that is why men don't care about you having money. Because what does it do? He still has to provide. He still has to pay for shit. He still has to pay for bills, dates, gifts, necessities, trips, so on and so on. His money is still used for everything. What is your money for? He doesn't even use your money. In all honesty, right? Most relationships, men don't use women's money, right? At least not majority of the time. Yeah, maybe let's fast food there, a Starbucks there, whatever, little things. Yeah, maybe. But most relationships, you're using the men's money. So again, who cares if these you think that these women we're not for them. Okay, fine. But what man is? Because look at this. The men that makes the money that these women want, well, those men don't want these women. Because most of these women are in their late 30s, mid 40s. Why would these men care? Right? And I'm not even saying that men don't date older. They could. But this is the thing, right? Men can date older. Men can date younger. Men can date poor. Right? Men can date the woman that works at McDonald's, let alone these women that make six figures. So this is the problem, right? This is the problem. This is the square that these women put themselves in. They can only date men that make six figures. That's it. They cannot date the bus driver. They can't. They can't physically stand dating the bus driver. Wow, the man that, that is, that makes six figures. Hell, if the bus driver is a good-looking ass woman, they can date that woman. Because even, I guarantee you, right? Even if the bus driver is good-looking, none of these women would marry the bus driver, at least. Yeah, they probably have sex with him. But marry him? No. What do you think?
I mean, I get your reasoning completely. Yeah, I understand. I don't think you're wrong either. Like I said, I don't agree with everything they said. I mean, it's interesting. I want to hear more about what they have to say, because that's a good point. Like, are you putting yourself in a position where you've limited your options, and are your options going to pick you? I mean, well, let's see what they say. Let's see more.
Or kind of propose.
Yeah.
Because yes, Black men, sure, it might be a little bit more difficult, but if you are willing to date outside your race, the options open up. And
I do, but wait, I have to give a caveat for this, because I don't want to make any presumptions. As somebody who has been very open and transparent about my dating within and beyond Black men, I just want to say that that's not necessarily the savior complex that people think. Unfortunately, because I think when I have this conversation with Black women who have
remember this topic, right? We're gonna cover it in at the end of this part.
Okay.
never dated outside of Black men, they often have a romanticized fantasy ideal about what that is, kind of like non-Black men will save us. And I don't know, straight to Cam. And I know that's not what you're saying, right? But I do think that was in the comments, right? Of kind of my bus driver game. Well, sis, what they need to know is you can date non-Black men, and you will still have many of the same perils because there are differences culturally, but men are men. And when it comes down to misogyny and default presumptions of feminine worth and value, some of those things control cross-culturally. I only know it from experience.
But I will say, some of the women that I know that have dated outside of their race, I do not. I only date Black men. But they will try to convince me that it is better. And maybe that's why we have that idea that it is romanticized. Because it's like, oh, girl, you need to get you an Italian man because they know how to worship us. They know how to treat us better. Okay, so when it comes to that, do you feel like people throw that in your face as well? Because when you see a Black man that's dating a white woman, it's kind of just like, okay, you know, the athletes, oh, they all got them a white woman, and that's fine.
There's a whole movement called Passport Bro.
This is what I mean.
Oh, God. I mean, it goes to Ebony's.
Okay, let's. So far, this is the thing, right? What I wanted to talk about, right? And we've covered it a little bit. Women are attracted to what they're attracted to, right? So even if they go into, different races, and I said this, right? I predominantly date Black women. You know, that's been my dating history, right? And it's not necessarily because I only like Black women. It's just so happens. So that's my dating history. But it don't mean that, okay, if you stop dating Black men and then you date white men, you think things get better. No, because like I said, if you like, oh, I love tall men, so you only dated tall Black men. Now you go to white men and you date only tall white men. It don't mean that, oh, wow, I thought this will be better. No, you're still doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So you're not really changing the type of men you're liking. You're just changing the race of men you're liking. So really, it's not like, oh wow, why every man I date are cheaters? Well, because you date literally the same type of man, okay, just in different colors, right? Again, I never like the woman that said, "Oh, I only date black men." Fine, you want to date what you want, but it's like I promote all women. I mean, I promote women, men, whatever, to actually keep your options open, but then they just change your mindset on your options in the sense that you're typing, okay? Like, just don't think that, okay, wow, if I just change the race, things will get better. No, because you're having problems not because of the race of men, because there are good black men, there are good Asian men, there's good whatever. It's because of the type of men you're liking, not because of the race of men you're liking. And this is the thing where, yes, she, the second seat, she alluded to it, right? Saying that, okay, yeah, it's not going to necessarily changing the race of man is not going to save you, but this is the thing where they never said it, right? This is why I said women don't give good advice. They don't give good advice because they should say, no, it's not the race of men you're liking, right? It's the type of man you're liking. So this is the thing where, yes, changing the race of man won't save you. Changing the type of man you like will save you. So let's say, oh, you've been dating only thugs. Well, how? And then you said, okay, how about date a geek, date a nerd, right? Date an engineer. Wow, that's a definitely different type. And they're black engineers, black geeks, black nerds, right? But that's a drastic different change. One's a thug, gangster, whatever, having a rap sheet. And the other guy's like he's only live in a home playing Dungeons and Dragons, and an engineer. That's a type of man. Still black men. So what are your thoughts?
I mean, I don't disagree about being open to trying actual different types of people to find what you want. You can't tell anybody how to like what they, can't tell anybody what to like. I mean, I think the same goes for guys, right? Like, I mean, more power to you if you're willing to step out and try something you haven't tried. But even a lot of guys are like, there's going to be a lot of women who might be better for them, but they won't give them a shot because they're not the physical type that they want. You know what I mean?
I do agree. But this is the thing. Here's the thing, right? I agree. And the thing is that if you don't complain, then it don't matter, right? So let's say, yeah, if you're a man that never changes the physical type or the type of woman you want, yeah, you never complain about it, great, all the power to you, right? You like what you like.
Yeah. And
you know what? It's been fine for you. Now, if you like what you like, and then you complain, oh, these women suck. And again, I'm holding men accountable, right? Oh, these women suck. They only want whatever man. They only Okay, I'll say, are you an idiot? You only choose these type of women.
Yeah.
Right? You're stuck with only one type of woman, right? Big booties. That's it. That's all you like. You only like big booties, right? So, okay, now these big booty women don't want you. Well, that's your fault. And this is where I hold women accountable, right? Let's say this, right? The woman in the third seat, where she said she only dates black men, which is fine. You can do what you want. The problem is when you say, oh, black men are terrible, black men are this, black men are that. Are you kidding me? Right? So the men that you choose to date, you choose to stick with because you're like, oh, I only date black men. Okay, fine. No one's telling you to date other race. But it's like, man, black men are terrible. Black men is this, black men that, black men that. Well, then what's the problem? Like, do you want to date black men? Or do you just want to crucify them? That's the thing where I don't like, right? Where I don't say, this is the thing where I'm saying about women, where they are synonymous to saying that, oh, they like certain type of men. And yet, they are the ones complaining about those type of men. So here's the thing where, let's say these, right? These women say that, oh, the man I date or marry has to be 6 figures, has to be a millionaire. But then it's like, oh, these men only want younger women. These men will cheat on me. These men, blah, 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 blah. Okay, like you choose, like
you're choosing.
yes,
Okay.
you choose to date a criminal, and then you wonder why he's back in jail. Right? You complain that he's back in jail. Girl, you chose to date this criminal. No one's forcing you, right? You want what you want. So that's the thing. That's the key. That's the big difference when I go about it, right? I don't care who you want. The problem is when you keep complaining about who you want. That's where I draw the line. That's where I talk about the hypocrisies, the delusions, right?
Okay. I mean, it's hard to argue with your logic. I feel like you're never gonna do it. I feel like you need to have this discussion with a woman.
How? What do you mean?
Like, all right, so like I can bounce thoughts. You can bounce thoughts off me, and I can give you different points of view. But like, you describe your logic to a woman in a position to describe her logic or to give her thoughts. And I know you'd have to have a person on here willing to have a conversation with you without trying to cuss you out.
That's the thing, right? You're kind of right, but you're kind of wrong, right?
Okay.
Because in my opinion, women aren't logical. They're not, right? Let's say hypothetically, right? Hypothetically, that friend of yours, right? Which you guys should check out, right?
Yeah.
We did an episode back with me just reacting to her. I don't think it'll be a productive conversation.
I don't know that it would be.
Right? So that's a problem, right?
I might know a woman willing to have that conversation with you.
I mean, maybe. I mean, well, we could, that might be like we could do a three panel episode.
Okay.
But this is the thing, right? I honestly believe the things I say will trigger women.
Yeah.
I think it will make them emotional.
Okay.
And it will make for, maybe a fun podcast, but I'm not like that, right? Mm-hmm. This ain't no fresh and fit. I'm not looking to go viral or argue with a woman or yell at a woman, have her yell at me. And I'm not really, I don't like, or we're talking back and forth like we can't, no, it was like arguments. Mm-hmm. I'm not looking like that. I don't know. Right. It's not fun for me, right?
I agree.
Now, yes, and I've had plenty of academic conversations with women, very logical women. So it's not like that. I haven't really had, gender, or, relationship conversations with women because here's the thing, right? It was a really funny thing, right? I was talking to a woman. She said, "This is why I don't want to have a conversation with women." So I was talking to her, right? She's like in her 40s. She said she left her husband, but she's telling me that he paid for everything, right? He took care of all the bills. I didn't need to do nothing. I said, okay, cool, but it's like he was too controlling. Okay. I guess that's bad. Mm-hmm. Now she's like, so she left him. Now she's on the dating market. It's like, these men, they don't do nothing for me. They don't take care. They always expect me to take care of them. They expect me to pay for the bill. This man doesn't even pay for nothing for me. It's like, and I was telling her, it's like, but do you, you just left the man that did. It's like, she's crying. She's crying. Like, you don't understand the trauma I've been through. You don't understand the heartache, the traumatic experience. I was like, okay, I don't want to talk about it. Okay, we don't have to talk about it. Literally, like tears going through her. It's like, yeah. I was like, this is the thing where we can't have a productive conversation. Like, understand. This is the thing, right? And I was being polite, right? Not rude. Mm-hmm. But you can't have a productive conversation with emotions, right? especially the wild side of emotions, right? Anger, sadness, whatever, right? The really wild side. You could be animated, right? Being animated is fine, but it's like when you're being animated and mad, animated and unhappy, animated and sad, it's just, it gets too much.
Okay.
That's why I've said it to myself. I mean, it's not impossible, but I can't see myself having a woman on the panel and talking to, because I see it as, yes, we can have I would love a debate. Problem is, I feel like it'll be triggered. Right? That's the problem. Where you have a different side of me, right? It's great that you agree, but you still have a different viewpoint than me.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the thing is that it's cool that, okay, if you listen to what I'm saying, and then you know what? You didn't think about it. It didn't come to your mind, but you see the logic in it, and you know what? If it changes your mindset or adds to it, that is an accomplishment for me.
Yeah.
Right? That feels better than just having you seeing my logic, agreeing with my logic, and getting triggered and still yelling and arguing against my logic because I triggered you. That's the thing where I'm a little iffy about when it comes to this.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. So, completely unrelated. We can get back to the clip. But I have a question.
Go ahead.
If it's difficult to have, and I guess you wouldn't be having that kind of conversation with someone if you're in a relationship all the time, but like, if it's difficult to have that kind of conversation with a woman, how can you be in a relationship? Because don't you have to have tough conversations in relationships all the time?
Here's the thing, and maybe you could agree with it. Maybe you see the logic with it. Men don't. A lot of times, right? And maybe you see this logic, right? Men it is what it is, kind of thing, right? Like, men will get over things.
Yeah.
In my last relationship, right? We could have so many more fights. For me, I just give up. I was like, you win, right?
Right.
This is the thing where, okay, it's cool. I was like, fine. I don't want to. This is the thing. I say it synonymously so many times to her. I pick my battles, right? I could continue arguing about this subject, but it's like, what does it accomplish? We're yelling at each other. That's the thing, right? Where men will just pick their battles. It's like, fine, whatever, you win. And I don't know about you, but I've been in most of my relationships where I would give up, right? It's like not worth the battle. That's the thing. Women make it a battle, right? A debate is not, I mean, you could call a debate a battle, but it's like,
it's not really a fight. It's not a fight. You're just, yeah.
Right? It's not a fight.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Where it's a conversation, right? But then the conversation turns into a battle. That's when men just they give up, right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing where if we're in a panel and then a woman just makes it a battle, right? And then, because when you make it a battle, you're not really talking about what we're talking then.
No,
you're making it your emotions, how you feel, how it affects you. When I'm not talking about you, right? So let's say this. I'm talking about these women, but I'm not really talking about these women. I'm just talking about women in general, or the women that, let's say, the women that wants the millionaire. Are you the woman that want a millionaire? Well, then if you're not, then it's not you.
It apply to you, right?
Then it's like, oh, you're talking about women. You're talking about women. No, see, that's the thing. It's like, that's the thing, right? I don't know. I mean, I would love to hear about your things, but how, if you've been in a relationship and how you talk, but it's like, I know most men, they just give up, right? And not necessarily give up in a bad way. Give up in it's not worth it. It's like, I don't want to make the relationship. This is the thing where men don't want, right? They want peace. So I don't want to make this relationship a battle. So I'll take a step back. Fine, you won. Cool. Let's move on. Kind of thing, right? So that's what men mostly do. Unless it's something that you have to battle about, men won't even try. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It might make for a good discussion. How to have a conversation with a significant other in the future. I think my approach to any emotionally charged conversation, including conversation with women, is always to, all right, if I feel a certain way, I have a point to get across. And there have been times when I've gotten really emotional. I'll be like, no, I need you to understand like what I'm trying to say. But I think it helps to ask questions to explain your reasoning. You know what I mean? So like, if I'll ask questions to the same questions that I ask myself to lead myself down a line of reasoning. I'll ask those questions to the person I'm talking to and get them to think about it. And I mean, if what I think makes sense, they'll probably come to the same conclusions. I think if you're talking to somebody who's emotional or like, all right, we're speaking general about women. I think women are emotional first. It doesn't mean they're not logical. I don't think that means that. I think they're emotional first. I think men are logical first and emotional late. That's where there's a disconnect because you're telling her straight. That's why we can be blunt with each other, right? And because you're not going to take it personal. You be blunt with a woman, she's going to take it personal first. Which is why you have to deliver your message in a way where she won't take it personal to get past the emotion and get her to think.
For me, it's about the subject. You know,
I mean, I guess.
So sometimes, like, I mean, truthfully, yes. I mean, like, if you can figure it out, but sometimes I feel like, yeah, I mean, there's more tactful way to talk about things, but like I say in general, I sometimes think that it's just because of the subject, right?
Yeah.
Certain subjects women won't be so emotionally charged about, while others they would. So it's like the ones that men know that, okay, she would definitely fight on this, you take a step back. I mean, I would maybe I mean, again, I'm not no relationship expert, far from it, but it's like I've yet to know how to handle women in any conversation talking. So it's like, I don't know.
But see, I think it works vice versa too. If a woman's trying to get you to understand how she feels, her yelling and being emotional, you're just seeing somebody emotional and you don't feel the same, it's not going to connect.
Yeah.
But if she calms down and she could deliver a message in a way that gets you to think about it, you might say eventually, oh, I can see how that would make you feel upset. You know what I mean? Like,
that's the difference, right? That's where you're saying she's not being emotional. She's being logical or just being more reasonable and more toned down.
Mm-hmm.
What's the opposite? Men like being logical, but then what? Get emotional to understand? No. So
well, it's not about getting emotional. It's about acknowledging the emotions that are there. That's what I think happens a lot. All right, so another close friend of mine who was married. I've seen some of the conversations he used to have with his wife. Conversation he had with other women. I'd be like right there watching the conversation, and he would say something, and it would just be so blunt and so cold and straightforward. He'd be like, "Why don't you get it?" And it's like his delivery was like just blunt, right? It wouldn't bother me because, like, I know I don't care, but if you don't soften it, if you don't acknowledge that there's nothing wrong with what I'm saying, it's right, it's logical. Why don't you get it? It's like, well, if you deliver it like somebody shooting a firearm. So she's like, why are you talking to me like that? Like, that's the first layer you got to get past. And like, if you don't acknowledge that that's there, that's all. I don't think you're gonna get your message.
Okay. I do see that, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about this early on, right?
Yeah.
Like thing with Kevin Samuels or Fresh and Fit, right?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
One of the things you've had a criticism is not what they say, but how they deliver their message.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's like, I don't disagree, but sometimes I feel like it's unlogical. It's like it's stupid, right? But I don't disagree
Uh-huh.
that women are such on how you say things and not what you say, which is so absolute asinine. But I don't disagree, right? I don't disagree. But the problem is, right? Like I think a lot of men is that they're more blunt than empathetic. That they don't necessarily understand, oh, how should I say something instead of what I should say. The issue is like, do I think, I mean, like, I don't know, it's like if it's something that men should change because it's not necessarily, I don't really think it's a good thing. It's like, oh, let me tiptoe on how I should say things. It's like, hey, that's like, I don't know.
Yeah, 'cause we don't like the tiptoe. Like, I want to get right to the point and then move on. I get
Yes.
it, right?
Say it. So, I don't know.
Well, all right. I only think it's and we can get back to the clips in a second. I only think it's super important in a relationship. You know what I mean? Like if she's not somebody special to you, maybe you don't worry about so much how I feel because you guys can go your separate ways. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. It's just, I also think that men don't develop that ability that well.
Okay.
So I don't know, but I mean, I don't disagree that men having tactness or empathy or understanding about how to say some things, not what to say, isn't a good thing. Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's the players, the bad boys, right? The men that are really top percent, really good with women. They've broken that barrier where they do understand what to say to women.
Yeah.
It's not, I mean, how to say certain things to women.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I do understand that, but it's like let's think about it on the flip side, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I say that's a hard thing, right? Is that men don't have enough experience with women to gain that ability. And here's the thing where I said, right? That is an ability you have to practice. That is an ability you gain, not your ability you're born with. And that's why only certain types of men get the whole 100 bodies, the players, the bad boys, the Casanovas.
Mm-hmm.
Not every man, like that's what I'm saying. Other men will come off as creepy, come off as an ass, a jerk. Because he's not a player. He doesn't know how to do it, right? He doesn't know, oh, how do I say it for a woman to like be gushing over me instead of how do I say it and then she understands it and not think I'm a jerk. It's just, I mean, it's like, okay, what do you want? I mean, like a man that's like well versed in women or a man that's like, new to it. I don't know.
That's interesting.
We'll think about that more. Right.
Point
Yeah.
about Black women being fed the narrative that you got to take what you can get, that you're the
Yes.
lowest on the totem pole in terms of attractiveness, and that Black men are actively saying, I do not want a Black woman. I am going to go to another country.
Yeah.
You know what you just said there? I wanted to at least really point out first.
Mm-hmm.
By dating statistics, which is probably old, but I mean, it is something that we, men still talk about, that Black women on dating websites are the least, clicked on. So essentially the least attractive, right? And I want to clarify that in a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Black women are beautiful.
Absolutely.
Right? But the thing is, right, it's not attractiveness on how you look. It's attractiveness on what kind of person you are. Right? And this is the thing where I don't know if you agree with it or not, but why, let's say a lot of Black men or just a lot of men find it that Black women aren't attractive is because of the type of women that generally black women portray. So most black men will see that, oh, you portray the strong, independent, no need no man type of woman. That's a stereotype or stigma or image that black women portray. And that's why, like I said, a lot of black men may see that as like, okay, I'm not attracted to that. Why would I need a woman that's gonna battle me on shit? So this is the thing where no one has really talked about it in the nuance, because they just think, oh, people think that black women are ugly. No, they're not. They're not unattractive, right? People don't like why the dating statistics. It doesn't like digging deeper, but this is my view on it. Where why a lot of people, right, races of many men, right, click, left or whatever. I don't know, forget the direction, whatever. Find black women unattractive. It's not because of how they look. It's because of who they are, what type of character they are, the personality.
You can't know that by looking at somebody. So
but
that acknowledges that there's stereotypes.
No. This is the thing, right? I don't know, but you look at it, but you could look at a woman's profile, the things that she say in her profile.
Okay,
you can see that. Plus, yes, there is this stigma, the image that's portrayed, and that's prevalent in the dating market. But things like this continues to portray these type of women, right? They're kind of giving it off. That stigma, that image, they're doing it themselves right here. So I wanted to just say that nuance is like, yes, this is where they say, this is where they're getting it from, where yes, dating statistics, polls and stuff like that, black women are at the bottom of desirability, but they're not bottom of desirability in looks, but desirability in personality. What are you thinking?
I'm processing.
Okay. All right, let's continue.
Find another, ethnicity or race of woman because I deem them to be more attractive. I deem them to have more traditional values. Read, bow to me.
Find them to do what though?
To marry them.
There shouldn't be no reason why you can't say, I don't want to date a bus driver. You know why? You're a lawyer. You did your education. You've done your work. You've been on television. You're still on television, and you probably don't want that kind of man, and that's okay.
And I don't think that man wants me, lawyer. That's the other part of the
where you gonna
conversation.
meet him?
No, I'm just saying that, but that man does not want me. Melissa, can you see that?
I had this exact conversation about her.
Yeah.
And I posed the question about, the CEO of Xerox. Why should she have to date a bus driver? Why is this even a part of the conversation? First of all, the two of them probably have very little in common, not even in terms of them personally, but their lives and their lifestyles and that sort of thing. And what's called into question when it comes to trying to date somebody who's of a different status than where you are, you're going to encounter problems that are going to result in microaggression, just like the fissures are going to kind of show up in the relationship, but it's going to be a lot of unsaid things, insecurities, you know what I'm saying? Like why, listen, in a perfect world, Miss CEO of,
let's talk about it a little bit, because women, here's the thing, right? Women always talk about men being insecure, right? She's saying like, why wouldn't, this is the thing, right? It's not about you. Why would you want to date a bus driver? Is that you don't see the man beyond his title. This is the thing, right? It's true, right? She doesn't have to date a bus driver. And the other woman is saying all her accomplishments, like being a lawyer and all that stuff. Great for you. But this is the thing, right? You being a lawyer only impress you to other women. It don't impress you to men. Because you got to think, right? These women, what are they dating? They're dating men that are accomplished themselves. They're dating men of a certain value, certain tax bracket. So, if a man has a certain tax bracket, he don't care. I mean, like I said, right? I've said this before. it is not a negative necessarily that you are a lawyer, but it's not a plus that you're a lawyer as well, right? So let's say a fellow lawyer, he's not going to date you because you're a lawyer. He's going to date you because you're attractive, plain and simple. He's going to stay with you because of your personality. It's not because, oh, she's a lawyer, I want to be with her. No, he can give a shit about it. If he found you at Starbucks and you were dead ass gorgeous, he would still find you the same attractive. He would still want to be with you because you're attractive. He would want to stay with you because your personality is same. That's the thing. Men only benefit from a few things with women: their looks, their youth, and their body. Because that's really all women give men. Like I said in the beginning, right? I'll probably say this over and over again because we'll talk about it more. Women don't give money to men. Her being a lawyer does not benefit a man. It doesn't, right? Because she's not gonna give the man that she's with, money because he already has it, right? He doesn't need her money. So really, her being a lawyer is nice to talk about. Like, it's something that when we go on a date, you can talk about it. But it's not going to make him attracted to you. A lot of women think let's say the Simone Biles thing. Oh, wow, she's a gold medalist. Great. Doesn't make men attracted to her because she's a gold medalist. They will attract her because what she looks like. Plain and simple. Because her gold medals ain't going to feed a man. Ain't going to do shit for a man. Right? It ain't going to do nothing for a man because even Simone Biles is dating an NFL athlete. He's making money himself, right? Maybe he's still young in his career, so he's not probably making more than her, but still, he's not needing her money. So really, her money is nice for her, useless to him. So this is the thing where a lot of women don't understand. Yes, these women can date men of their own tax bracket, but can they keep men of their own tax bracket? Usually you can't. Because why? It's because of your personality. Like I said, your looks is what draws a man. Who you are is what keeps a man. Has nothing to do with your accomplishments. Has nothing to do with your tax bracket. It just so happens, like, this is the thing, right? Your tax bracket only opens the door for you to be surrounded by the men that you want. Your tax bracket does not attract the men that you want. Right? Yeah. She won't find a bus driver because she ain't gonna ever ride a bus. Right? But this is the thing, right? She's fine, she don't ride a bus. But her being a lawyer, or being in the lawyer's room, well, it don't mean that she's dating lawyers, or it don't mean that she's married to lawyers, because they're not going to be attracted to that. They don't care about that. And that's like, something that women cannot grasp. So, and I think that's the problem, right? And this is the thing where men are not insecure about women making more money than them. Because this is the thing where, this is something that women can't understand, right? Even the Mexican, right? The Mexicans, right? The Hispanics, those women, they still work. But when they go home, they follow the lead of their men. They still submissive to their men. This is the thing, right? Where women can't understand. They can't grasp it. Where, fine, it don't matter if you make 100K, a million, whatever. Will you still be just as obedient, just as following the leadership of a man that's a bus driver? They won't. Because they view that man as beneath them. So it's not because he's insecure because you make more. He's insecure because how you treat him. Because if that same man, like you, right? You right here, you as a bus driver, you as a CEO, right? Will your woman treat you the same from either or? They won't, right? Because if you are CEO, she's going to be absolutely obedient to you. You as a bus driver, she's gonna like, oh, what are you talking about? You ain't gonna do nothing. I mean, like, fight you on your decisions. We'll follow your lead. We'll be, submissive, right? It's like, cook your meal. You can go grab it yourself. You can go do it yourself. That's the thing where women cannot grasp. You will disrespect a man that's below you. You will hopefully, right, won't be disrespectful. Who knows if you'll be respectful, but at least you won't be disrespectful to a man that makes more than you. That's the thing where women can't grasp. Men aren't just naturally, oh my God, my wife is making more money than me. Oh, I'm so insecure. No, my wife is making more money than me. The day before she made less money than me, she cooked me a meal. The day after she makes more money than me, she's told me to cook my own meal.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. I definitely get it. That's rough.
That's the thing.
Xerox, she falls in love with the bus driver and everything works out well. But in reality, probably not.
Doesn't have class, socioeconomic distinction. Let's just start from that point.
Yeah.
We want to pretend that we live in this kumbaya society where, quote, everyone's the same. Stop cap.
Yeah.
Stop cap.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not. Like we need to be clear. And it's not, for me, it's never about being better than, which I think is how a lot of that was framed.
Yes.
I've been very clear. My mother drove Charlotte-Mecklenburg School's bus for many years to make sure that I had everything that I needed. And from that, and if I bought a bus driver home to Gloria, she would slap the black off of him. Because her point is I put you in position to go get it. To go get it at a different and yes, higher level.
Mhm.
So why? And let me tell you something else I know about women who show.
I really wanted to finish it, but it's like,
Yeah.
that point she just made.
Uh-huh.
That point she just made
Uh-huh.
is the problem.
It
It is the problem.
You said it. I knew exactly. I can feel like the hairs on the back of your neck. Like,
I'm talking a lot. So you tell me what you think. Just her statements right there.
and so me hearing it sounds like a woman saying the man's value is his money. Point blank, period. Which I don't believe about another person, right? I'm not looking at a woman thinking her value is her money. I'm not thinking. Some men think this in a different way, that a woman's value is just her attractiveness, her physical attractiveness. And that's a shame. I don't think that way about other people.
See, that's the thing, right? That's why women cannot complain.
Okay.
Men in general don't complain. They know it. Men know it. Men, I mean, yes, we don't think it should, but we're not stupid.
Uh-huh.
We're not stupid. Men know it. You said it in the beginning. Men know it, right? We know that our value is our money to provide.
Mm-hmm.
We don't think it should be. It shouldn't just be that,
right?
But we know the truth. And this is the thing, right? We don't know it because we made it out to be that. We know it's because, you know what? Women made it out to be that. And this is the thing where I said it. This is the thing, right? I keep on saying it. It's just what women decide. Women would not give you money. So really, what do women give you? Just their looks. So that's all they're valued. So this is the thing, right? This is the hypocrisy. The hypocrisy. When women, let's say this, men say that she's old. Men, they say she's unattractive. Okay, well, you can't complain about that because all you see in men is a dollar sign. And it's generational. Her single mom say that she would smack the black out of her because she brought home, let's say, a good man, a loyal man, a man that respects her, a man that wants to marry her, a man that loves her, a man that treats her like the man that's a gentleman, treats her like a lady. But what? Her mom saw that as a bus driver? That's what you get mad at? Because she put her daughter in a position to what? Marry rich men? That's what you think? That the money? The rich men. I put you in a position to marry rich men. Not marry a good, loyal man. A man that's faithful to you. A man that has principles. A man that has character. A man that wants to be a good father. Wants to marry you. That's what it is. That's the in all. Here's the thing where controversial, but I think that's synonymous with black women, and I think that's a generational curse thing. Where again, women are not teaching other women, and this video is a case study, right? In that sense that you're not teaching women to get with good men. Get with men that has principles. Get with men who has morality. No, you want men at a tax bracket, at a certain tax bracket, a certain social setting, social I don't know, position in life, certain money. So, what do you think?
So I still disagree that that's most women and that's most black women. I disagree. I don't think that's the case. But I'll say that there is perhaps an aspect of black culture so if one generation of black women, like say, let's go back 2 generations and you have families, right? And you have black men working to provide for their families, right? And it's really hard. It's really hard a few decades ago. It's harder than it is now, right? Because the opportunities aren't there. People don't treat you right because of your skin color, right? Black men have a hard time going about it, and a lot of stereotypes they have to fight that aren't true about them, right? So they raise their children to, be decent or be hard workers or whatever. If you have the generation during and right after, like the war on drugs, perhaps, where black men are put in prisons and families are broken up and they're not there, and the women have to be the heads of the household, right? And so they want to put their children in a position to not have to work as hard. So that's where a lot of that thinking and behavior may come from. So now you'll have mothers raising their children to not be in the same position they're in, to have to work as hard as they do, so to look for something different. But then I guess it gets misconstrued, like down the line. Now I get that there is an aspect of black culture where women have been taught to be strong, to be willing and able to fight for yourselves because their parents were put in positions where they had to be that way, right? So now these women are these women were raised to not be in that same position. So yeah, do for yourself or find someone who will do it for you. That becomes very important. I get that is what I'm saying. But I still don't think it's most women. I still don't think it's as bad as like we see online and everything. But yes, there are women who like get a man who's going to take care of you so you don't have to do it for yourself, because it's hard. Like if was a black mother raising their children, if she's in a situation where she has to do it alone, she's going to try to teach her children to not be in that same situation. So yeah, it changes priorities a little bit. I get that.
I see it. I see your point, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
But then, so here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's weird because white women marry high status men, right? Plenty of women marry white men of high status, and get men who will provide for them.
I think you're a little wrong in that.
Okay.
I think white women marry men of equal standing and build with their men. This is the thing where, here's the thing where I'm thinking that is, yes, right? I don't disagree that there has been generations of broken family, and now women, and this is the thing, right? Black culture, there's no patriarchy. It's a matriarchy, okay? Women are at the head. So here's the thing where, and it shows you that women have failed. Women have failed at it. Because women lead Black communities. Women lead Black society.
Okay.
But
I roll with you so far. I want to hear your line of reason. Let's go.
But this is the thing, right? Where I don't disagree that they're in a position and they failed at making that position better. I don't necessarily think it's totally because, let's say, Black men go to jail, now women are on their own. I do agree that's part of it. And I also see the point where Black women chose to let the government in to take care of the family and to increase the divide. And again, that's probably the racial, divide that the U.S. contributes to, because Social Security, or not Social Security, welfare has now put a divide into Black families. And then Black women has now, they failed at it and they took it up and it's ruined things. But this is the thing where I see it as, women have not changed, right? In a sense that they're failing. Because look at this, right? Black women are the least married demographic. So they don't see this is the problem, right? I think this is the issue, right? The Black women don't see the problem. They don't see the problem, so they don't see no need to fix anything. They complain. They definitely complain about shit. And yet they don't see the problem, right? They don't see the problem, so they don't see the need to fix things. I've said it before. It's not because of Black men. It's not because, there's no good Black men out there, so on and so on. No, it's because of you, like your other generations of, your mom, your grandma, or whatever, choose terrible men. Here's the thing, right? A rich man does not make you a good man. A bus driver doesn't make you a good man. But if we remembered back when we did that video, the woman, I forgot her name too, but the woman that was talking about the bus driver, she said that it don't matter if he was a bus driver. She said what mattered is how he treated her. If he was loyal to her, if he cared for her, if he loved her, if he supported her, if he did all these things, which we just said a little back in the beginning, right? With the Tyler Perry thing. Who cares if he paid just one light bill? If he cared about you, loved you, was empathetic, he knew how to talk to you. He knew how to talk to you. He knew how to say things, not just what to say. He was there for you. He was there for the kids. He was taking care of the kids. He was there for you, right? That's the thing. That's the problem, right? Why, even in the beginning, what we're talking about, where you're not seeing the problem, is because you saw this, a bus driver, a lawyer. You saw that, oh my God, bus driver? No. Lawyer? Okay. Now I'm just dealing with a whole bunch of lawyers. But why can't I find a good lawyer? Because all you care about is because he's a lawyer. You don't care about the character of a man, the type of man he is. You care because he's you care about because he's what job he has. But this is the thing, right? This is the problem, right? Let's say statistically. Well, statistically, and I'm just making shit up. There's only 20% of lawyers in the US. 20%, right? A small pool of men.
Mm-hmm.
And now bus drivers, let's say they make up 30%. There's a lot more bus drivers than there are lawyers. Right? But this is the thing, right? You rather pick from a smaller pool of men and then wonder why you're having trouble instead of picking from the bigger pool of men, right? And maybe finding success there. Because this is the thing, right? I'm not just saying lawyer, because now these women say, oh, he has to be black. Well, now that's like, what, 10% of men.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, not just black, he has to be over 6 foot. Well, now that's like 5% of men. Lawyer, black, 6 foot. This is the thing with women. This is the problem with women. And the difference with men. Yes, men love beautiful women, but beautiful women are everywhere because also beauty's in the eye of the beholder too. So men can find beauty a lot, Hell, you like bigger women. I mean, like, so, and you wouldn't mind a skinnier woman too. So that's the thing, right?
Yeah, right.
So there's variety. There's a huge amount that men can pull from. Right? The only problem is like once you get to know her, I mean, once you attracted her, date her, well, now you found the personality. But that's not the thing, right? Women, let's say that, oh, I only want to be with men that makes $1 million. That's like 1% of the population that makes $1 million. 1%. And that's not even saying if he's black, if he's 6 foot, if he's even good looking. And this is the thing, women, and I've said it, women are the enemy. Women are the ones who make themselves suffer because they themselves put them into a small pool of dating. Just like the woman that says, oh, I don't date black men. Great. I don't care if you do. But then you think black men makes what? 20% of the population? Maybe? I don't know. Let's say 30% of the population. Oh, I want to date a black man that makes $1 million. That's even more crazy. What is that? 1% of black men that make $1 million? So that's the thing. That's the thing that women don't understand. You are the ones who are essentially doing the shit yourself. You are making the problem yourself, not men.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Up in success and financially and this, that, and the third, and then they try to act as if we're all the same. And they do date, men that maybe are differently positioned financially or educationally or otherwise. They are typically resented. I'm going to just tell you the truth. The women I know that build men, right? Yeah. Right? Because we've all done it. That's truth be told. In my first marriage, I paid the bills. Let's be clear. I'm not speaking hypothetically. I'm speaking from experience. I was a lawyer dating a grad student. Who do you think was running them bills? Right. Let's stop it. And what I felt, y'all, was I appreciate the lifestyle I get to live with you, but I hate you for it. Yeah. But I hate you for it. Yeah. I hate that I got to have my hand out when I want to go get these new kicks. And I hate that I have to ask in a way about, well, where are we going on vacation and what does my contribution look like? Because I'm not running shop the way I really want to run shop, as most men really like to leave their house.
Right. Exactly. And so when I was talking about Miss CEO of Xerox, I'm saying, what is the problem with a woman of that stature? The amount of time that she's invested, not into her, schooling, but her profession, into her life, building herself up. Why shouldn't she feel like she should be equally yoked? Why is that a problem? Yeah. And then it's always the reverse card. Sure. Well, when men are titans of industries, do they go looking for equally yoked, et cetera, et cetera? No, because they're probably not going to go find it. I'm like, oh, Jesus, Lord, take the wheel.
Yeah. Well, they also want somebody that's going to follow them around and do what they want them to do.
That's what I said. Yeah. Titans of industry are looking for women who are not going to say, I'm sorry, my schedule is
exactly.
that they need a woman who is going to be at their beck and call, who is going to be available for everything, who's going to have the kids, raise them, and just be available for them.
Would you ever do something like that, Al? What? Pay all the bills, like would you take care? Like say he's like a stay-at-home dad and he's taking care of the kids and you are the breadwinner, are you okay with taking care of all the bills?
No.
No,
There would have to be there would have to be circumstances for that to, like, what's the issue?
Why aren't you working?
Yes, why aren't you working?
She's saying, put another way, make it make sense.
Yeah.
Make it make sense.
Make it make
And if it doesn't make sense, it's a no.
Now,
Yeah.
what do y'all think about this though? When the man does work and then he's
How does it make sense when the women do it then?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Like, you making money, so I have the time to do all the other things. So that's why it makes sense. Like, if I go to work, I'm not gonna be able to do all the things I am doing. Yeah. So yeah,
But see, this is the thing, right? This is the thing.
they're imagining. That's tough because they're imagining if the man's a stay-at-home dad. I could see it. I could see it materialize in her brain. He was like, "Well, why can't you work? Like, why are you lazy? Why are you home? Like, if
And this is the thing.
he's working at home,
Literally,
that's
like,
his job."
you know how many times women say that? Okay, it is being a stay-at-home mom is a job.
Work.
How many times women say that? We should appreciate stay-at-home moms. And yet, if a man does that, it's like, make it make sense.
Yeah.
He's lazy. How could he not have a job?
Yeah. Right.
It's literally like, if a man does it, it's the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
It is like shit on the floor.
Yeah.
If a woman does it, she's the most amazing thing ever. We need to praise her. It's a job. It's hard. This is the hypocrisy.
Yeah.
And you wonder why I can't talk to women, right? I mean, I can talk to women, but why I wouldn't want women on the panel, because this is the thing, right? Women don't make sense. They don't. And they know it. And that is why, right? In these things, right? Women talk to other women because they don't make sense. Right? Because they know they won't have any backlash or like anyone, not a single one of these women have counteracted the other women, have said anything different.
I said, wait a minute. Well, what about our pushback? Yeah, I hear you.
No pushback.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right? And
Now,
you know what?
Now the lady made a point though. She made a point about being in a. He said she was paying all the bills in her relationship with a grad student, and that he liked the life, but resented her for it because he had to come to her when he needed money. Is there something to that?
Remember what I just said before, right? If that man wasn't a grad student, but was like a partner of a law firm, would she treat him the same? She wouldn't. Would she follow his lead? She might. Would she give him respect? She might. That's the problem, right? Is that men have to be at a certain level for women to treat them with respect. And this is the thing where we've talked about this before, right? Women want love, men want respect. And all men know that if you're asking women for money, she ain't gonna respect you a lick. All men know that shit, right? So I guarantee you, in this relationship, she's probably looking at him, we need to get a job, or oh God, you need more. It's like
you think
so? It's like on the flip side, right? If men are giving a woman money, they don't care. Men don't think about it. Men don't even necessarily think twice about it. You want to buy sneakers? Boom. Okay, go. You want to do this? You want to go on a trip? Boom. Let's go. Shit like that, right? If a man is asking a woman for, oh, can I buy a sneaker? It's like pulling teeth.
Well, all right. So let me ask you though. All right, let me ask you from your point of view. If you were in that situation, let's put aside the idea that she might disrespect you for it. Let's put that aside for a minute. How would you feel having to ask someone for money to get things you need or things you want, as opposed to being able to do it yourself? Like, you have your own money now. You can do whatever you want with your money. But in this situation, when you wanted something, when you needed something, or when you wanted something, you had to ask her for it, how would you feel? Would you be okay with that?
I will feel less of a man.
Okay.
Remember a while back, right? We were talking about power dynamic in a relationship, right?
Uh-huh.
I said to you that he has to pay the bills
Uh-huh.
to have the power in the relationship. Right? We were having this debate, right?
Yeah.
A man and woman thing, right?
Yeah.
And I can tell you this, right? I hate that. I hate the fact that I will feel less of a man if I ask a woman for money.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I know she won't treat me the same.
But let's say she was cool with it. Let's imagine.
Okay, let's say this, right? It's I mean, like a backwards world that we live in. Backwards world where she is like absolutely like she will follow my lead. She will listen to me. She respect me. She would like blah. It's like she absolutely obsessed with me. I wouldn't care. I would ask for money.
Okay.
I was like if I asked for a grand and she's like, "Here, babe, here's a grand," and then next thing she's cooking me food, awesome. No, nothing. But this is the thing, right?
Uh-huh.
If I ask for a grand, she look at me side eye. Next day, there's nothing, and she's not cooking nothing. She's have takeout, only food for herself, watching something. Yeah, I know that she's not happy about it.
So I see something a little bit in between that, right? So like, all right, if my partner, my girlfriend or wife asks me for money, right, for things we need, whatever, right? I probably trust her with the budget or whatever. But if she came to me and was like, I need $1,000, I might have it. I might be willing to give it to her, but I'm gonna ask her, well, what do you need it for? Shoes. Like, well, I don't mind getting you shoes, but do you need $1,000 shoes? Don't you have?
If you ask for $100, would you ask her what? Would you ask her what she needs it for?
I might. I'm all right. Like I have $1,000, but I don't have $1,000 of like I don't have $10,000. I don't have.
This is the thing. Okay. This is the thing, right? It's about where you're standing. If she asks for $50, would you ask what she's doing with it?
Probably not.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? It's about the level of like disposable income. Yeah,
but that depends on how well you guys are doing. But I guess my point is, if you all right in your relationship, you would control the money, right?
Yeah.
So you would want to know where the money's going, right? You wouldn't talk down or mistreat your wife for asking you for money, but if she asked you and you didn't deem her reason for wanting the money good enough, you wouldn't give it to her, right? So she'd have to ask you and kind of convince you, right? A little bit, right? She'd be like, I need this money for this. And even if it was for something she wanted, she'd be like, baby, I really want this thing. It would make me happy. Can I have it, right?
Uh-huh.
Fine. A man in that position, he's not getting disrespected, but the woman he's asking for money from is like responsible with her money. So she wants to know all those things. I can see that bothering a man. I can see it bothering me. I'll be honest with you.
Because that's the thing, right? I would say this, right? It's power dynamic. Because like what you're saying, right? A woman's like begging you for money or like, trying to, it's like you want to think like that in like, let's say a submissive way, right? That's how it is.
Mm-hmm.
So now a woman is in that position where the man is being submissive to her. She ain't going to respect him.
Well, maybe not.
She's not going to show that kind of respect towards him.
But even if she respects him, the man, I just imagine, I'm just looking at it from the man's point of view. Take the woman's reactions or feelings out of it. A man might not want to be in that position anyway. No. I don't think it's just because what is this woman going to think about me? It might be because I'm a man. I should be able to do what I want. I don't like asking somebody for stuff.
But that's exactly right. That's exactly the thing, right? That is the dynamic. That's the power dynamic. Where, like I said in the beginning, right? I feel less of a man. But that's the thing, right? Like I said, in a perfect world, if she was like I said, right? If she was like absolutely submissive to you, absolutely obsessed with you, right? How can you? And this is what I'm thinking, right? How can I feel less of a man when she gives me $1,000? I don't even have to beg for it. That's the thing, right? It's because women, she will like they will call it when the begging or like the cute eyes, like I don't know what to say, like little kids or like puppy dog hair, like being the submissive thing, right? Where I don't need to beg. She gives me, babe, here's 1,000. I'm gonna cook you your food. I just finished the laundry. It's just all these things that like I don't feel less of I'm not made to feel less of a man. So I'm not made to feel like the woman in a relationship. That's the thing, right? Where I honestly believe men of like, let's say the grad student that she said she was dating, he probably felt less of a man. He probably felt like the woman because he has to beg her for the money. It's not like she's giving it, because like here's the thing where I said like yeah, I want to control the finances, but I would give my girlfriend an allowance, right? And or my wife an allowance, or I would set aside money for her, right? I would do things where she's not hurting for money. That's the thing. And I wouldn't cry about it. I wouldn't care about it because I set it up because I want her to have some money. This is the thing where, in the flip side, is like I think these women, their power dynamic is that you're not asking me for money, because then now I'm the man in this relationship, and that's a stigma that men all know. If you the money is, that's why I said before, right in an early episode, money is power. If you're not making the money, sad, but you don't have the power in the relationship. And again, I honestly believe it's not because of men making that out to be, it's because women make that out to be. Because if we want to, if I want to, if I didn't have to make more money than my significant other, I wouldn't bother. Right? If I make just as much, if I make equal or less than her, but she still treats me like I'm the leader of the relationship, great. But that's not the case. Men have to be better because, again, these women may be, of a certain status, but their thinking is not original. It's not nothing new. Right? Even a poor black woman, she ain't gonna listen to a man that's poor as well. She will be more submissive and obedient to a man that makes more than her. That's the thing.
Okay.
And men know that.
So I agree with you. I think you're right in most cases, but I also believe that there is an element of pride that gets hurt, whether somebody else feels negatively about what we're doing or not, right? Like, if I had to ask you for money, you'd be willing to help me out. But I'd be like, oh, I gotta ask somebody for money. Like it's still a little bit of
it's
a little bit of shame in that anyway, though.
The pride is because, let's say this: if you're asking money from your bro, I'm not making you feel like a woman.
Well, no, you're not. But I'm still gonna feel a little bit.
Well, I mean, you may, but it's like that men have pride. I mean, yes, I'm not gonna say nothing different with that. I ain't gonna say, yeah, men have pride. That's why, yeah, men don't do it. I'm saying like that's partly, yeah, that's part some of them men too.
But no, I do think you're right that it definitely skews the power dynamic. Absolutely. Yeah, I agree.
Never there.
Well, personally, I'm fine with it because the Bible says you're supposed to provide. But that's just me. I'm also
Like,
not
I
I believe in provision.
Like it's a house there.
Yeah.
Right, because somebody does.
They believe in provision, but they don't believe in submission.
Have to go get it. And just to show you I'm consistent on this, I have friends who were raised in more affluent childhoods and backgrounds than I was, where they had two parents in the home. one personal friend. Both of her parents were doctors, and her mother, who was a pediatrician, was never around. And she went to a private school, and she'd be like, "Mommy, this is bullshit because all my other friends' moms are on the field trips, and where are you?" And in my house, that's like so crazy because I had a single mom who was working 3 or 4 jobs, driving a school bus, also getting paid at the time $25 an hour. I'm talking about in the 90s at UPS. Shout out to UPS. And all these things. So my expectation was that she wouldn't be around because I understood at a young age, to your point, Elle, you can't have both at the same time.
Yeah.
Someone cannot be taking care of your lived expenses and be up in your face. So which one do you value more? Like, mama can't be making Lunchables and on the field trips if she's going to get it.
Yeah.
To make sure that I can have the things I need to succeed in life.
Yeah.
Same thing with my husband. My husband can't be up in my face, sitting on the couch with me watching Netflix if I need somebody to send these kids to private school.
Yeah.
If I need somebody to make sure that we have our mortgage paid, not our rent paid, our mortgage paid. So I'm very much okay. Baby, go to work.
So you'll be okay with him being gone?
Bye-bye. I love you. Go get it. And that's what I want men to understand about most Black women that I know. Most of us, contrary to popular belief, don't just want a man. We want the.
See, that's the problem with women. That right there is the problem. Right there. It's like, how many generations, right? Have people talk about the absent dad, the neglectful dad, the deadbeat dad, the dad that's not there, right? And to be honest, right, she sounds selfish in that sense, right? It's just like, okay, fine. Now you don't care if this is a thing where, do you even care about your children, right? It seems like, no, you care about him making money to give you the luxuries in life. Why do you have a degree? This is what I said. Why does it care if she's a lawyer? Who cares if you're a lawyer? Who cares if any one of these women that makes over 6 figures? Who cares? Because what? He has to break his back. He has to sacrifice his time with his kids and his partner to provide for you. Why would he care? Why would it matter how much money you make? That's the thing. Why? It does not. And this is the thing. This is the hypocrisy, right? The hypocrisy of women. Here's all these women agreeing with that. Like, oh, yeah, great. And yet, for generations, women have complained about men being neglectful, not being there for the family, not being there for the kids, right? Only being, because you got to think, a man that works hard, comes home, he's tired. And you expect him to have more time for the kids, more time for you. So really, it's like, he's an absolute slave, right? And then this is what women want. Make money, work hard, make money for the family. Come home and now have time for the kids, maybe even chores, maybe like have time, spend time with the. Whereas he might be a robot. That's the thing. That's the hypocrisy, right? That's the delusion I try to talk about. And I think that's disgusting right here. Because this is the thing. This is the danger that women are spewing. And they can't even see it counteracts things. With one hand, women saying, like, men are not there for his kids. Men are absent fathers. Next minute, yes, go make your money. Leave the household. Mwah! What the hell? It's like, this is the thing, right? Absurd.
Capitalism, baby. It's rough. I don't want to be. Now, you laughed at me when I said this because you don't think it's possible. But if I end up with somebody, that's why they need to be someone who I know I'm friends with. Because I don't think like these women are talking in generalities about what it would be like to have a man, what kind of imaginary man they would want in their life, right? It's so different once you're face to face with a person. If you care about that person, you care about what they go through, not just what they're worth to you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I want to be with someone who cares about me. I care about them, so I'm going to be willing to give, but vice versa. Because they care about me, they'll be willing to give. And then you're a lot closer to 50-50. You're a lot closer to both sides making compromises, you know, on what they want as opposed to for what's beneficial for both of you. You see what I'm saying? And it's easier. I feel like when you like they're talking, and I think to a degree in a different ways, men do the same thing. If you approach a relationship, if your mate is just a list of things that you need in your life that they need to fulfill, that's not good enough. I don't think that's good enough for a healthy relationship. I mean, people are in those kinds of relationships all the time. I just, I don't think it's good enough.
Here's my controversial thing. I don't think men are doing that. I don't think men in general are doing that.
No.
I've said this before, and I think I've said I've shown you this in our maybe our last one or the one before.
Mm-hmm.
All these women, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have options. There will always be men out there, and if you remember this, my own quote, always be men out there that want. Women will always have men out there that want to be with them, want to have sex with them, want to be boyfriend and girlfriend with them, hell, even want to marry them.
Mm-hmm.
And yet these women, they will probably say it, that they're single. Why? Because the men that they want don't want them. This is the thing, right? Men that don't even, that they don't want, but these men would be friends with them, would get to know them, would treasure them, would love them. But they might be the 50-50 thing, right? They might be whatever, right? And this is the thing where women want these perfect men, these perfect situations, okay? And I say that it's not men don't want to do that. I mean, of course there's some men, right? But I think men in general, they just want to be happy. They're not necessarily looking for perfect, because men are, anyone that says they want perfection is an idiot. But men just want to be happy. And usually for men, it's just happy like a woman that loves them and be there for them and loyal to them and give them kids, right? That's it. That's mainly that. Okay. And men will gladly sacrifice their lives, provide and all that shit. These women, they want a top tier man to cover every perfection, every category. That's the issue. And that's what I think a lot of women are suffering from.
The man that we want. We want a man that we desire. We want a man that we're actually attracted to. Physically, emotionally, psychologically, intellectually. And if you're not
perfection,
you know what I mean?
Nowadays,
it is a lot to ask. And
It's not a lot to ask.
I actually think it is.
No, I swear to God, everybody trying to convince us that we need to accept the bare minimum needs to go somewhere. No, that is not a lot to ask. I swear to God, the bar's in hell.
No, I agree with you, because
I just don't want it. They want love. Point. Yeah. So if you're not all of those things, if I don't desire you, I really don't want you. Real boss men, they do not desire a financial.
Well, before she continues, because I want to cover that. What just said. What do you think?
You mean that little discussion they had about whether it's a lot to ask?
Everything, what they just said.
I mean, well, nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. So like you, all right, man. All right, how do I put this?
Here, get your get your thoughts process that. Yes, no one's perfect. The problem is women expect perfection. That's the problem, right? That's the problem. The bar isn't hell, really? The bar? I mean, come on. The bar doesn't start at a millionaire man. Right? That's not the bar. That's not where the bar starts. Millionaire and then above. That's not where the bar starts.
So all right. Then what's the bare minimum?
Bare minimum.
What's the bare? Yeah. What do you think a bare minimum is?
It's just being a good guy.
Okay.
Being a good person. Right?
Is being a good person, is just being a good person enough? Should they just have to accept that? Should you just have to accept that?
Just a good person? No.
Yeah.
There's other things too, right? I want a person who's good, but I also want a woman that's talking. I mean, a good person is where the bar starts, okay, and then other attributes add to it.
Right.
That's the thing.
Right.
So,
is there a point where you're asking for too much, or where you're asking for a lot?
Yes.
We're at that point.
Okay, let's say like these women, right? Flip side, if I'm asking for a supermodel, the bar's not in hell if I'm asking for a supermodel. No. Right? The bar isn't in hell if the man doesn't make 6 figures. That's not the bar. That's not where the bar starts, making 6 figures. Right? The bar doesn't start when I think a woman is an 8 or a 9. That's not where the bar starts. Right? If she's not an 8 or 9, the bar is in hell.
Yeah.
Seriously? No, the bar starts at if she's a 5. Average. 5 is an average, right? The bar's in hell if she's a 3. Right? That's in hell. Now.
So I agree with you that essentially you're not going to get everything you dream of across the board in a man. I mean, if you hit the jackpot, maybe, but I don't even think it's fair to expect that because nobody's perfect. And I don't think it's fair to the other person to expect that. But you can get most of the things you want. And you have to set a list of priorities. What's most important? And if you get the things that are most important, some of the things that are less important, you could do without. Because you're not going to be everything to that person either, right? So
to be honest, I think most men, if they get 60, 70% of what they want, they would be happy.
Yeah.
Women, I think it's 90, 95. I mean, like they maybe have a 5 to 10% leeway.
Okay.
But it has to be like 90% or better. That's the thing. 90%. I mean, come on. And usually, right? The crazy shit is the 90% is the same like every woman. 6 figures. Good, like really handsome. Pack a dick like a baby's arm. I mean, come on. It's like practically every woman wants the same thing. So really, I mean, like, and this is the thing, right? This is why men say the shit they say. Why the top tier men have so many options. Because all women, practically most women, want the same type of man.
Or an intellectual equal. They are not attracted to it. It is a turn off. The people I just don't want it. Is my point. Yeah. So if you're not all of those things, if I don't desire you, I really don't want you. Real boss men, they do not desire a financial or an intellectual equal. They are not attracted to it. It is a turn off. The PP goes, burr, burr, burr. It does. I'm telling you the truth. They did not go to law school, L'Oreal, so they could end up with a peer. They went to law school. They went to medical school. They went to Harvard MBA so that they could be the dominant. Yeah. So that they could run the shop.
We're all single here on this panel. Are you single?
No surprise.
I am definitely single.
I'm newly single.
I've been single a very long time.
And single. And all successful, which is scary. So it is that hard, right? We're saying it's not that hard, but you have 4 successful women.
Because the success is not to our advantage.
Beautiful.
romantically.
Now,
Okay, let's just name some things.
Yeah.
Okay, because I can't sit up on this panel and not name the fact that even in this conversation of four diverse women of different lived experiences, we still represent some similarities. Nobody on this panel is darker than a brown paper bag. We need to name that. Nobody on this panel is more than a size 10. And so let's just kind of expand.
I think the first
We
woman is bigger than
represent
size 10.
a preference.
Yeah, but I.
Oh, am I the only one here?
No, I'm listening.
Oh,
We're listening.
We represent a preference amongst what society and in particular Black men have said they preferred. And yet, we represent Black women that are still paying a price and a tax for our success. Can we imagine what this conversation looks like with our darker melanated sisters? Can we imagine what this conversation looks like with our curvier sisters? So I think that this is showing to me the impetus of the crisis. We're in a crisis when it comes to Black women in romantic partnership, because to Melissa's point earlier, of course we can, and many of us do date outside of the Black race, but I'm never gonna try to convince a Black woman to want something she doesn't want.
Oh,
Right?
never,
You know what I
never,
mean?
Absolutely
If you are attracted and desirous of a Black man, that's what I want for you.
All right, thank you.
It is a crisis that women have started and continued. It is a crisis that women are the perpetrators and the creators of. What do you think?
All right, to an extent, some women are asking for a lot. They're asking for, they want a lot from their men, and that's okay. You just have to, like you said, like if that's what you want, you don't complain when it's hard to get, right? Like I want someone to look like Halle Berry. Like that's gonna be awesome, but there's not that many women look just like her. You know what I mean? So
I don't expect it.
right, exactly.
I mean, it's like, to be honest, there's a dream women, and what I think. Okay, it's like, yeah. I mean, like I like Jessica Alba, but no woman I've dated looks like Jessica Alba.
Yeah, right.
So really, it's like,
Yeah.
this is the thing, right? They complain. They complain about it.
Now, but now here's the other thing. I mean, we spent time listening to them talk, but you and I don't know what they've already been through to this point. What I mean by that is we don't know how many times they've actually compromised on what they want. Like you don't think they ever have.
This is the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that women don't compromise on certain things.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is what they compromise on is the stupid shit, right? Let's say a man that's loyal. Okay, fine. They compromise on that. A man that's not as good looking. Okay, they compromise on that. I doubt any of these women really compromise on a man that makes money. Right? Makes good money. Right? But this is the thing, right? What I honestly believe, and I believe this is like from women that make six figures to women that like absolutely dirt poor. Women don't compromise on men that makes money. Women will, if they have to choose, like, right? If women have to choose, they will compromise first on morality, principles, personality. That's what they would throw out the window if they had to choose between those three or a man that makes money.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that.
Why can't you? There's nothing to disagree with.
Well, you're talking about people in a certain tax bracket. That's what you mean.
I'm talking about 90% of women.
I disagree with that. I disagree.
How?
Because how many How many times have we seen the woman who? How many times have we seen the woman who puts up with the criminal? The guy right out of jail, who they held down before he got locked up, and who they're willing to hold down after he comes out. He ain't got no money. He ain't making
think
nothing.
about
He's a
this.
homosexual. That's where that term comes from.
But look at this, right? They still compromise morality principles. What do they throw that away for? Looks.
Well, yeah, but what I'm
I'm
saying,
just-
like,
I'm-
I agree that that
I'm
women.
saying if those out of those two, right? I'm saying out of those two,
Okay,
right?
all
If
right.
you do that, yeah, they're gonna personality or money. They're gonna sacrifice money. I mean, personality. Now let's say good looks and charm, or morality and personality. Yeah, they're gonna still sacrifice morality and charm, or morality and personality. It's like, to be honest, I give you the three things that women want: looks, charm, and money. Right? That's what they only think about that. That's the only thought they have. If a man has that, oh, that's who I'm gonna go for. And yet, it will be a string of failed relationships. Because this is the thing, right? This is the problem. Like, we talked about this, right? The generations of old, even in the black community, they're not thinking about how good looking this man is. They're not thinking about, oh, how charming this man is. They're thinking about what kind of man this is. What's his personality? What's his character? His morality, right? His personality, right? That's what family cares about, because they know that that's what will make a better, stable relationship, stable family, right? Money is great, but you can build the money, right? Looks and personality, looks and charm is nice, but I think that's a facade. That thing is not gonna make a relationship stable, right? That's the thing. And I'm sorry, black women are synonymous with it, because they pass that with generation to generation. How I say things, right, is because there's statistics to back it. One of the highest single mother rates, one of the lowest marriage rates. And then you could correlate that with a lot of things, right? There was I forgot where it came from, but there was a quote where black women are the ones who made desirability of thugs and criminals number one. Black women have created that. They push it out where being a thug is so hot, being a criminal is so masculine. And that's the thing.
I don't know if I agree with that.
How could you effing not?
I don't know if I agree.
Okay, then give me a counter.
So, women in general, they like a strong man, right? Right? Like thugs and criminals are often men with strong personalities, alpha men with a presence, right? Women like that, right? And a thug or a criminal is a skewed version of that. And society over the years has portrayed black men in that way. So they've created the picture of the thug and the criminal. So I don't think black women have caused that to be the thing. I think women have always been attracted to that kind of man. And but because of culture, especially in the United States, when you say thug, you think of Tupac. You know what I mean? Like so yeah, a lot of women are attracted to that kind of man, but I don't think it's black people's fault or black women's fault that that's the case.
How is it not? Because you perpetuate it.
I don't think they're the ones who perpetuated it. I think all
they
women
are. Like seriously, how is it not?
I think it's just I don't think they
Let me tell you this, right? Let me tell you this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if black culture, black women were being, and this is crazy, but they were a string of single mothers that their fathers were engineers, were geeks, comic book geeks, were nerds, and absolutely all the gangsters, criminals, and whatever were childless. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? That, wow, you know what? That's not attractive. Being a criminal, being a thug, being, you know, a degenerate is not attractive to women. And yet, I can tell you this, right? Practically most of criminals have children, multiple children.
But that just speaks to the fact that that kind of man is attractive.
But that's what I'm saying.
But just say that black women have made that the case. Black women haven't made that the case. Black women are victims of it.
How are they victims to it? You're not a victim. See, this is why I hate, right? You're not a victim to whatever for a situation you chose. There's no you don't call for victimhood when you, like, I'm not gonna scream out.
If you're not a victim of something you choose, then you can't say black women perpetuate anything, because everybody chooses what they want. Nobody can be influenced.
But
if black women are pushing out this, if black women are perpetuating if they're influencing people to like thugs, if they're the ones who have made this a thing in culture, you're saying that they're influencing more and more people to like thugs and criminals. But if you can't be a victim of influence, then you can't blame them for that.
I'm not saying you're a victim of influence. I'm saying, yeah, you are being influenced. I mean, how can I not blame them for that? Because they chose to do it. This is what I'm saying, right? If you are a victim of influence, supposedly, then yes, how can I blame you for being a victim? I'm saying you are willingly taking these influences and then dictating your life to it. So let's say this, right? Hypothetically, your mother is now a single mom. Your father is, in prison. Now you are a single mom. Your partner is in prison. Now your child, so on and so on. This is the thing, right? Or I say accountability matters. No one's taking a stand. Where, let's say the daughter then is like, I'm not dating a criminal. I'm not dating a man that's going to abuse me or be a criminal or, be an absent dad. I ain't going to date. I'm going to give a child to a man that's not going to be there. That's not going to want to marry me. This is the thing, right? Where I say accountability. I'm saying that it's taking a stand. This is the thing where we cannot just be blinded to, people's actions. They're allowing this to happen, right? It's what you choose. I'm a big proponent of accountability. And this is why I said women choose, like I said, right? Let's say this, right? You are one of the most upstanding men I know.
Thank you.
Now, let's say if you had 10 baby moms, wow, I think that's crazy. Right? I think that's crazy.
That would be crazy.
But then it's like, as crazy as that situation is, at least I know that all your kids you're taking care of. All these women you wanted to marry, but they just, whatever, they didn't want to marry you. That's the thing where I know the type of man you are. And so I know that, let's say these 10 women, they were attracted to a man that at least it's morally sound, that would be a good father, that wanted to marry them, but whatever, they didn't want to marry you, right? This is the thing where they picked a person that would have married them, wouldn't have had a child, wedlock, all this shit. The problem is that these women chose men, and I've said this before, women choose men that they know won't last. You chose a man that was dealing drugs on the streets. You chose a man that abused his last 2 girlfriends. You chose a man that has 10 baby moms. You know this shit is not gonna last. You saw the red flags, right? This is the thing, right? Women choose and I get it. The whole proximity, right? Like, okay, there's thugs, dealers, criminals all around me, but that's the thing where I still think that's a cop out. That's also a cop out because, like, again, I know that there's not every black man is a criminal, right? Not every black man is a thug. But this is the thing, right? Where women can change that perspective. If women say that, no, I ain't dating this man. He's a criminal. I ain't dating him. I don't want, he's ugly. He's disgusting. I want that engineer. I want that geek. I want that guy who's a 9-to-5 job, making $60K, responsible, right? That believes in marriage, that would respect me. I want that man. That's the thing, right? I said before, women dictate the dating market, not men. Women. This one, women have more power than they think they do, than society thinks they do. Average women have more power than average men, substantially more, right? Especially in the dating market, because you gotta think, right? And here's the thing where people will say, like, I don't know, you have no one and all that shit, but it's like, again, women choose it, right? It's not like we don't talk to women. Women, if they don't want you, they don't want you, which is whatever. It is what it is. But this is the thing, right? Where women wouldn't want a man they're not attracted to a man that's stand on his principle, that's faithful, that would be a good father, that wants to marry you. No. They want that aspect in the man that they want, right? Let's say, like, the NFL athlete, they want that man to become, let's say, have your personality in an NFL athlete. That's the thing, right? That's the problem. They want that personality, let's say, in a gangster, in a criminal, to like, oh, I want to change my way and work 9-to-5, but I was a criminal and all. It's like, this is what women want. Like, women want perfection. They want to build a man. That's the thing. They take attributes all around, but that's that thing is like, that's the thing where, like we're watching this video, right? It is the illogicalness of it, and that is why these women who are, let's say, above late 30s, they're still single, or they're newly single, because, again, I said women can always find men, but can you keep a man? Women are gauged on, can they keep men, not about how many men they can get, because it's easy for women to get many men, but it's not easy for women to keep men. What are your thoughts?
Well, it is easy I do believe it's easy for women to get multiple men. And I guess I wonder if it is. I guess is it difficult for a woman to keep a man? I'd have to think about that. I mean, if it's why do you think it's difficult for a woman to keep a man?
Because of their personality. This is why I go back to it. Where I was talking about black women are the least desirable, not because of their looks. Black women are beautiful, right? I find black women beautiful. They're not least desirable because of their looks. Black women are least desirable because of their personality. They have one of the worst personalities in the dating market.
I don't think that's true, but okay.
And again, this is in general. It's not the women that you date. It's not the women you talk to. But, like, I'm saying, the stigma Like you, yo, do not lie. You know the stigma, right? How the stereotype or shit about that. The image of black women. You know it.
Yeah,
You
but
say that's a good image?
the image of white women as Karens doesn't apply to all or most white women.
But see, this is
I
the
don't,
thing.
like, all right, so here's my thing. Here's what I think. I think that it always goes back to the few with the loudest voices. I think you've got a group of men looking at a group of women and then applying what they see to the whole class. I don't think that's the case. But like, all right, if black women have like the worst personalities, why? Why do they have the worst personalities?
They did it themselves.
They just woke up and was like, I'm black and I decide I'm going to act this way. No, some outside factor had to influence that. Why is that part of the culture? Because that's what it is. That's what it means. Because it's melanin doesn't make you act a certain way.
No.
It would have to be.
It is part of the culture.
It would have to be part of culture.
Not because
so
you're
what part
black.
of culture do people not like?
Because
And where does
like,
that part of the culture come from?
But look at this, right? We literally just talked about in this video. Her mom literally say, "Don't date this." I mean, she supposedly say her mom would smack her, right?
I agree.
If she, you know, here's the thing, right? Let's go with this one, right? I'm gonna perfect video.
Like, I need a nigga that'll tell me about myself. Like a nigga that'll cuss me out every now and then and put me in my place. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't have no nigga that I'm telling them what to do all the time.
But what about if he
all the time?
But what about if he loved you and treated you better than that hood?
We was just, me and my cousin was just talking about this. I was young. I was probably like 17, and then he bought me some flowers.
Yeah, okay.
I was so fucking mad. Like, why the fuck he buy me some flowers?
That shit is why I stand with my.
So let's just go to the hood nigga, because the hood nigga already gonna go above and beyond when he comes to a girl like me, because he's gonna appreciate what I bring to the table versus a good guy who knows he has all these options. He's gonna take me for granted. So I would go to the hood nigga who go, you know what I'm saying, take me on in the adventure.
Your thoughts? You can please check out my main channel, right? Devil's Advocate, right? The link is in the description down below. So you can see my reactions to the videos the shorts I just posted. I mean, that I just showed. You tell me, what's your thoughts?
I mean, for my rebuttal, I don't have proof. I have to do some research.
You have no proof of it because you're just thinking about it. It's like that's the thing, right? You're counter. I mean, to be honest, sometimes I think that's the problem with a lot of And here's the thing, right? What a problem with women. You just talk about how you feel. It's not about proof. It's not about what's reality. That is reality, right? Like I said, I'm not saying shit out of my ass to just say shit. Do not lie. You know that is the case that women, I give you 2 videos. Right, and again, yes, there are videos of women allowed, but it's like that's not.
Has that been your experience with black women all the time? Like they all are like that?
Again, it's not all, but I think
it's most.
I think it's most.
That's crazy.
I mean, like I don't know about you, but like let's work at the place where I'm working at. You know, I hear a lot of black women talk, right? Okay. You know how many, like, it's funny, right? And it's weird that they do that. A lot of them just have a speaker, right?
Yeah. Hey, so you can hear both sides.
No, speaker. You know what you hear? This is the correctional agency. This is you hear the what is the collect call?
Yeah, you basically
of yes. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know my heart.
Penitentiary. Yeah.
Yes. You don't know how many times I've heard that. I mean, come on, bro. It's like, this is the thing, right? I get it, right? And I hope I could change this about you, right? I get it. That you want to support your culture and not see, or your community, and not see, or not think the negativity is prevalent or the majority. But that's the thing, right? And this is the thing. I'm not saying shit because I wanted the thing. I'm saying the shit because I wanted to change, to make a stand. Because I said this to you before, right? I think you are one of the most morally upstanding men I know, right? And you're black. It is ridiculous to me that women are not more interested in you.
Well, thank you.
All right, but this is the thing, right? But here's the good that you said thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't put an image, you don't have the image of a man, right? Or image of like the tough man, of the manly man. That's not your image.
No.
You don't have that attraction that women would die for. Right? So that's the thing where I'm talking about, right? That's the problem. You work a great 9-to-5 job, or you make a decent living, but yet where's the woman that wants to be with you, right? Or say that's clamoring to you. I think women that you dated should think that you're a gold mine, right? The morality you have, the work ethic, yes, you're terrible with savings, but you're terrible with like sustaining money. But I mean, you're not terrible at like making it, especially what you just, please watch the beginning of the video that, you just found out that you make decent money. So you're not terrible at making money. You're just terrible at keeping it.
Keeping money. So, all right. So I guess what I'm saying is I'm around plenty of black women, and I know the type of black woman I know the type of woman you're talking about. I haven't been around it that much. Like, all right, so women with attitude, okay. Yeah, I'll give you that. Women who like women who only deal with thugs are
not just thugs. I just say terrible men.
Yeah, who are only attracted to terrible men. I've met them. I know some, but that's not most of the women I know. That's not most of the black women I know. That's why I'm like.
So let's say this, right? Most of the black women you know, are they in a relationship? Or are they single?
Most of them? I think it's 50-50.
So 50 are in a relationship, 50 are single?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like, all right. So I'm thinking of like the people I'm around the most, the people I'm closest with. Yeah. I mean, it's so many, I know so many people, but like there's variations on, like, I'm really close with women who are in relationships right now, women who are single right now. Not so much women who are married, but that's because they're married. That's weird. So
here's the also thing.
I'm just not. I feel like I'm around people who are mature. That's what I'll say. I feel like I'm around people who are mature.
And you know what? This is the thing, right? Where we have to think about things, right? Who we let in our circle is kind of different. The women are just the women that I was saying, they're not in my circle.
Yeah, I know what you mean. They're
just people I hear around. So really, that's the difference. We're like, unless your circle is a couple thousand, it's not a demographic.
Right.
It's not like
exactly. You're right.
So that's the difference, right? And that's the thing where that's why we talk in generality, right? Most women doesn't maybe not even include the small, absolutely infinitesimal amount of people you know, because again, they don't equal much. But then let's not, again, sometimes you may doing it or other people may do it. We forget how reality is and how bigger the world is. And that's the thing, right? Where honestly, I want to, why I say things, right? I want to change that shit. I want to change that perspective. I want good black men to be more desired than the stereotypical, I don't know, thugs, bad men, the players, the bad boys, the Chad Tyrones, right? That's who I want to be more desired. I don't want a man to be desired because he makes just 6 figures and nothing else, no other attributes, right? I think one of the biggest flaws, right, in let's say my last relationship, which was with a black woman, is that I didn't make enough for her. She had always so many stipulation on money. Which is stupid because she always say, "Oh, it's not about money." But every problem you have with me always goes back to money. You didn't have enough for this. You're not paying for that. I need money for this. You're not doing that for money. Everything. If I can guarantee you, right? If I was a millionaire and I was exactly the same. Me, who's me, right? Absolutely zero difference. I won the lottery. If I won the lottery tomorrow, right? There was nothing different about me. I just had $1 million in the bank. She would still be with me. I 100% guarantee you she would still be with me. But the difference is I didn't win the lottery. I don't have $1 million. Right? And that's the thing where, again, and why I said the things I said, right? Let's not be stupid. Men are valued on their money, on how much they can provide. It's a sad, sad world we live in. Because you think about this. The men that are disturbed, the men that do violent shit, I guarantee you those men can't provide nothing for a woman. And they have come to a realization that they can't get a woman because they can't provide for a woman. And I hate it. I think that's terrible. But that's reality of men. If you can't provide, you're worthless as a man. And that's part of what we were going back to, where how you feel less of a man, because women make you feel less of a man. If you can't provide for her, you're not a man. And as sad as it is, that's the world men live in, right? I'm not happy about that, but it's like, I'm a realist. The world's not going to change. You're going to have to provide. And that's why I said I promote men. But this is the thing, right? Where I promote men to be the best version of themselves, make the money, invest in the stuff, not because of the shackles the world has, but because the freedom that will get you. Where now you can be the dictator. You can be the boss of your life, because now you're not shackled to, I need to get to that position. No, if you're at the position already, you're more free from the shackles of the world, right? Now you control what happens to your life or whatever, right? That's the thing. It's been a while, so any final words, any thoughts of the videos? I talk a lot in these videos, so I hope you guys like it. And if you guys like it, please check out my main channel, right? Like I said, description is in the script. The link is in the description down below. Please check it out. But I want to give you the final thought of the whole video, and closing statements.
Man, whole video. So I mean, we have some differing views and a lot of things we agree on. I think we both agree that men and women are very different in our approaches to relationships and is very different. I think it's just important to put your priorities in order and go after what you want. And if what you want is something rare, just know it's going to take a long time to get. That's all. Right? Yeah.
Okay, cool. I mean, we'll probably do this. I mean, I did not figure that just one video, 160-minute video, would give us 3 hours, but
Yeah.
it's crazy. So she has some other videos that we'll probably maybe do next time or something.
Okay.
It would probably be easy for us to have a couple videos down the line with it, but we'll see. It's fun. I love it. I always love the conversation. You gotta be more talkative. You gotta be more, you gotta put it more in it. To be honest, I don't even care if you disagree or even agree. But what I want you to think about is like, if you do agree, you should expand on it, right? Where, you know what? If you see my point, we definitely should talk more about it.
Okay.
Because I mean, like, sometimes I want to feel like, am I making logic? Does it make sense or does it? Because I'm still growing in my logic, right? So I always want to streamline that logic.
Okay.
Right? That's what I want to do, right? So if I'm making sense, I definitely would love your help in streamlining that logic.
Okay.
That's something I would love. We could talk about and see how it goes. But it was this long stream. It's a fun stream. I always enjoy the conversations. If not, we'll go to these other videos. You should think of some other videos if you want.
Okay.
So it was fun. It was cool. Hope you guys liked it. Please like and subscribe.
Please.
To this channel and my other channel. Yeah, it was cool. That's it, guys.
It's a pleasure, man. Thanks a lot.
Later.
Yeah.